Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you have not yet subscribed, please do subscribe just to support my channel there. So in this video guys, I'll be guiding you with answering SCL 1501 assignment 1 under semester 1 in 2023. So guys, before I start, I just want to tell you that I'm just a law student, so I'm not a lecturer. So one thing about this assignment is that you have to go through the instructions. I'm not doing this module now, so you have to go through those instructions because of instructions kind of like change per semester or every time they give you an assignment. It is very important for you to read and understand the instructions. Someone said that they wanted you guys to have footnotes and cover page and whatnot. So I'm going to post I'm going to put a YouTube link in the description of this video. The first one is going to be how to do a cover page. It's going to take you to a video whereby you can insert a cover page, like where you can find well-designed cover pages, beautiful ones, without any cost of any data. And then the second one and third one are going to be about footnotes. The other one is going to be about how to insert a footnote using a cell phone. The other one is going to be how to insert a footnote using a laptop or a computer, because it will depend with which you're using to type. So guys, yeah, let's start. Okay, question 1. Read study unit 1 in your study guide and answer the following. Then you state that 1.1 discuss the relevance of learning by doing, especially for law students. So for this one, if you go to page stating in your study guide, footnote number 10 on page 15 is going to be your reference. So which means that you get your answers on page stating and then your reference, because I heard someone saying that it is a footnote must be included and whatnot. I'm not sure, but I heard. So if footnote is being included, so you have to reference it, you have to insert it. Once you insert it, it's going to ask you for reference. So if you go to page 50, at the end you're going to find number 10, then you just copy that footnote and then you paste it on your assignment on the point whereby you have to put the reference of your footnote. And then 1.2, read the scenario. Read the section on finding an act of parliament. Then state the study unit 3 of your study guide, and then find any act of parliament with a reference to the act. Explain the following: preamble, long title, and date of effect. So for this one guys, you can Google any parliament act, any parliament act. It can be about Film and Production Act 11 of 2019. Any act, man, any act. Mostly like this one is the act that most any law student or a jurist should know. Legal Act, Legal Practice Act 28 of 2014, which allows people to practice law and what it deals more about becoming a lawyer, and it deals more about when you're a lawyer and what and advocate stuff, attorney stuff and what. It deals about the basics of law, especially when practicing. So you just have to Google any act, and then you have to go through. You just write the name of the act, then you say A, and then you write the preamble. The preamble is the introduction statement in that act. So which means that A is going to be introduction statement on that act, and then B, long title. Long title is the purpose of the act, and then C is date of effect. The date of effect, I do believe that is the date of commencement date, which means that when did this law come to power or started being used or what. Yeah, when did it start? Then you just write the date, you write the month, you write the year. Then we are done with this question. What. So if you were to add a footnote on this one, you say at the end, at the last point of date of effect, you set a footnote, and then you just write that Parliament Act. They know exactly when if they want that thing, they will go there. Or maybe if you feel like you will need to add something different, you can since you went to Google, you can copy that website and then paste it there, and after paste it, Then on the right side you space, you put a space, and then in brackets you write accessed on, then you write the date which you have accessed that website. Then let's go to question 2. So question 2, guys, as you can see, so they advocated Limpopo and what, so you read that thing alone. Now just focus on the question. So question A states that explain the notion of a price. Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce that thing. Why it has no place in education, banking education. So guys, I will refer you to a place where, or somewhere where lectures will not like, but I have no choice. We have to pass. So go into your Telegram, go to group info, then go to files, then search 201. Just press 201. All the memorandums which were uploaded in that group are going to appear. So go scroll down to a tut letter 201 of 2020 semester 1 assignment 1, go to question 3, then you're going to find answers for A and B, all the answers for A and B. So you have to check the memorandum, you have to go through that memorandum on that question, and then you have to write with understanding. Don't just copy and paste, guys, because if you're going to paste like wrong stuff with it, and then try to edit it a little bit, man, make it unique then there, because they have included, like for example, they would say learner or student. So cancel those things, man. Choose between learner and student, which one are you gonna use? Where you can change, just make some few changes then there, so that it may look like it is yours. And one thing about that thing is that the lecture start by explaining how you can get those answers and then give you the answers, so you have to know the difference. You just have to notice the difference, which one is the guide, which one is the answers, and what. So that's why I'm saying that you have to go through that thing carefully, guys. So yeah, I do believe that you'll find even B discussing the above extract with reference to what view on education what. So when you come back, after you are done, at the end of the answer B, you're going to go to page 8. Page 12. At the end, you're going to find reference footnote number 8. Footnote number 8 reference. Then you take it, then you reference that question 2 of yours. Then question 3. Question 3. Apart from the rule concerning the interpretation of act as contained in the interpretation of Act 33 of 1957. I'm used to iOS. Certain presumptions, I think that I pronounce it well, must also be taken into account. Explain the reasons why is it important to presumptions to be taken into an account. So for this one, guys, if you go to your study guide, page 46, you're going to find it on point C. So the footnote number for this one is footnote number 27 is on page 47. So for B, state that remember that there are 3 different types of cases: criminal, civil, and constitutional cases. Explain when a case should be as criminal, civil, or constitutional. In your answer, refer to the court which have had those things. So I think that for this one, I don't know, but for this one, I think that if you can understand, I think that if you can explain what is a civil case, what is a criminal case, what is a civil case, and what is a constitutional case, and then make use of those courts or cases on page 49. On page 49. So which means that after explaining and giving a reference to a court and to say to a court and case, then you will just reference with the name of that case for each point. So let's go to question 4. Question 4, read the section on litigation in court of law, study unit 4 of your study guide, and then differentiate between cross-examination in chief and examination in chief and cross-examination. Give practical examples. So we have to give practical examples. So if you go to page 84, you're going to find examination in chief along with the examples, and then you'll reference that one with footnote 52. It is on page 84. And then for cross-examination, go to page 85 up to 86. Then you're going to reference it with footnote 55 on page 87 at the last page. Jane purchased a Range Rover last week for 790,500. VAT was included while driving from Dewey Port area along the N2 in Durban. She collided with John, who is the owner driver of Porsche. Door is 23% negligent, whereas John is 33%. The damage of the Range Rover is estimated at 175,000. It's uneconomical to repair the Porsche, but salvage value is 125,000. The pre-accident value of the Porsche was 985,000. So guys, you're gonna see these questions even in the exam, so you have to make sure that you understand. With reference to the damage to the door and the weaker motor vehicle, calculate who must pay whom and what would be the amount in damages. I think that Jane will be paid because of, according to me, Porsche versus Range Rover, the Porsche is more expensive, yeah? And then I can see even with the money, the values there, the money there. So this is how you do it. Whenever you're approaching this kind of question, you need to write the name of those people on the right side, write one. So on the right side, just write Jane, and then on the right side, just write John. In your scripts in it, because of we are trying to calculate with understanding. So under Jane, write the percentage of negligent, which is 23, and then the 33 for John. Then we check who owns which car, and then we check the values of those cars. Like for example, we don't check the money which was used to purchase the car, we check the estimated damages. So as you can see, the estimated damages for Range Rover is 175, and then we also check the salvage value, and then we should also check the pre-accident value. And always, it is a must, the pre-accident value is going to minus the salvage value, always. Yeah? So in this case, we see that the damages which were done on Range Rover of Jane is 175. So Jane cannot pay this amount. This amount has to be paid by who? By John. But we have to make John to pay this thing based on his percentage, which is 33%. You understand? So it's more like we swipe the amounts, because of if I and you collide with cars, you have to pay the damages which your car did to my car, and then I have to pay the damages which your car did to my car. I mean to say, you have to pay me for the damages that your car did to my car, and I have to pay you the damages which my car did to your car. Simple as APC. So this is how I started it. So John Wicker. So as I've mentioned that the percentage of John Wicker is 33%, and so you can say 33 over 100 and what, or you can just say 33% times 175,000 is going to give you 57,750. That 175,000 is the damage or done on the Range Rover by John. So John has to pay Jane that money, which is 57,750. Then we have to calculate the damage which Jane did to John's car. So we have to start with the pre-accident minus by salvage and what. So we start by minusing it like this. Then we start with the what, because if you cannot start with a smaller number, we always start with a bigger number, because if we start with a smaller number, it's going to be in a negative form, and we don't have a money or amount which is in a negative form. So guys, pre-accidental money is 985,000 minus 125,000, 125,000, which is a money for salvage and whatnot. Then it's going to be equal to 860,000. Then we have to calculate the damage, that 23%. Then we have to say 860,000 times 23%. Just include that percentage sign, guys, just to not go long dry off. Divide by 100 and what. So just make that percentage, include that percentage. Then it's going to give you 197,800. Then in order for us to see who's going to be paying who, we have to minus those things. So we start with the bigger number going to the smallest number. So we start with 197,800 minus by 57,750. Then the amount which is left is 140,050 rand. Then who will be paying this? Jane. Then you're going to say, therefore Jane will be paying John 140,050 rand. Reason being is because of, it's more like me owing you 10 rand, and then you owing me 50 rand. Then I'd be like, you know what, instead of you giving me 50 rand, just give me 40 rand. You will be deducting that 10 rand which I am owing you. So here we just deducted that amount of 57, so which means that John already paid Jane. If we say that the amount which has to go to Jane was, the amount which was supposed to go to Jane is 57 rand, I'm to say 57,750. so it will no longer be going there just to cover the debt, man. Question 6, the most difficult one. So question 6, guys, you need to have this thing: top page service, fees, and expenses. So service is the service which was done by the law firm for you, the names of the services which they have done for you. Then the fees is the amount which they have charged you, which went straight to the law firm. And then the expenses is the money which the law firm had to use to continue with your legal purposes or what. Yeah? So yeah, please make sure that either you write lines there to separate these three things, or you just make space. So but please make sure that everything is in line, yeah? Just like I did. So the first one is letter received. So they have received 7 letters. Then you have to check each letter is how much. Then each letter stated that 35 rand, yeah? So we have to say 7 times 35 rand. Then I got 245. Then the number 2 wrote 12 letters. So the number of letters which were written were 12. So each letter is 54 rand. So 12 times 54 rand is 648 rand. So guys, please, whenever you're writing these things, we're dealing with money here, we're calculating money, please make sure that you add the currency. You show that the currency, don't just write the number only, because of once you write the number only, we don't know whether is it a dollar, a euro, or what. So just put that R there in capital letters just to show that it is a rand. And then 3 posted 12 letters. So they have posted for, I'm going to say 12 letters. So we just have to say 12 times the number of each letter or each stamp of letter. Then each stamp is 4 rand 20 cents. So we have to say 12 times 4 rand 20 cents, and then it gives me 50 rand 4 cents. Then I said plus here because of, guys, my keyboard is not functioning very well, so I cannot add that sign of plus. So you have to say add that sign of plus. Then just to save yourself a lot of time of saying 15 over 100 and what, you just say plus 50. We enter 50, and then after entering 15, enter the sign of percentage. Then it's going to give you 57 rand 96 cents. So which means that we're adding VAT. We are adding VAT. Reason why we are going to be adding VAT under the expenses is because when you go to a shop to buy something like grocery, at the same store. At the till, they charge you 50% VAT at the same time. But if you go to different shops, those different shops are going to charge you tax and what can I say? If you go to different stores, they're going to charge that tax per store which you went to. I don't know if you kind of like understand, which means that if you go to ShopRite, they're going to say 50%. If you go to Pick and Pay, they're going to say 15%. If you go to Pep, they're going to say 15%. But let's say that those items you can buy them at ShopRite, then you buy them at ShopRite, they charge you tax once because of these expenses are not paid at the same place. Because of here, it is a post office. You're going to see other expenses which way they were paid. Now, then let's go to the following one. So for number 4, guys, I drafted 2 summons, and then as you can see, each summon is 950. So they drafted 2, so it's going to be 2 times 950. Then we get 1900, and then we go to number 5. Number 5 drafted 3 affidavits. So they said that per affidavit they will charge 66 rand per affidavit and any part. So the first affidavit, it was 2, that's why I said 2 times 66. Then the second affidavit was 2.5. So the reason why I said 3 is because of they said any part, so which means that even if it is half, a quarter, they include it as a full pay. So that's 1. This half is going to be 1, and then it's going to be 2 plus 1, then which is 3. And then the third one, they said that 3.5. So any part, guys, it is a full page, so it's going to be 4. So all those things you can say is equals to, and then after that answer, add those answers they're going to give you 594. So we go to number 6, consulted twice telephonically. Yes, English. It's English in me, guys. So they said that the first one was for 26 minutes. So they said that per 15 minutes they charge. Per 15 minutes they charge 180, né? And any part. So which means that even if after 15 minutes there are some cycles on what they charge. So the first one they said 26 minutes. So for me to say 2 is because of 15, it goes into 26 once, and then it has a remainder of few minutes behind. So that's why I said 2 times, because of that other half is going to be any part. And then number 2, I say it stated that 16 minutes. So obviously when we take out 15 minutes out of 16 minutes, we're going to be left with 1 minute. So that's why I said 2, because of that 1 minute is going to be any part. So in total it's going to be 720. Guys, and don't forget that it falls under fees, né? So let's go to 6. I'm going to say we already done with 6, so let's go to 7. 7 is the consultation twice. So this person consulted twice. So they say that per 30 minutes they charge per 30 minutes. So first consultation was 35 minutes, so which means that 30 is going to be 1, and then the remaining 5 is going to be to make it 2, because of it is any party. Then that's why I said that 2 times 760. Then we go to the second consultation, which I stated that 4 times 760. For me to say 400 is because of, we all know that 30 into 1 hour, it goes 2 times, because of 1 hour is made of 60 minutes. So 60 divided by 30 is going to be 2. Yeah? And then we have 32 minutes. Then we know that 30 into 32 minutes, it goes once and then it leaves what? 2 minutes behind. So that's why it's 4. That's why it is 4, because of that 2 minutes is going to be any part. Then let's go to advocate fee. So advocate fee, they stated that it is 775. né? Then we have to include VAT, because of it is a fee which it was charged outside, not in, outside. So 75, and then the VAT was excluded. So everything that VAT was excluded, you put it under expenses. So we said plus, I said plus because of, I have explained that I don't have that plus sign on my keyboard, it's not functioning very well. So you just have to add that plus sign. So we have to add VAT in this amount, which is 975. So we just say 975 plus 50. Include this sign when you're entering, include this percentage sign, then it's going to give you the answer straight. It will no longer give you that long dry of 50 over 100 and what then the answer is 1,121 rand 25 cent. Then there was a medical legal report made, and then that thing, it was 3,350. Yeah, this is the other one that was made under the expenses, so it falls outside it goes outside the law firm. So it is the report which was made at a certain hospital, so we have to include VAT. And as you can see, that it stated that VAT is excluded, so we have to include VAT in this amount, which is 3,350. So we just have to say plus 15%, and then it's going to give us 3,852 rand 5 cents. Then we are not done, but almost. So the last part, at the last part, you have to write subtotal. Then we are calculating everything right now. So we have drafted our statement, so we have to calculate everything now. So we start with the fees. Starting under the fees, everything that is under the fees, we have to add it up. We have to add it up until to the last point. Then we're going to write it here under the subtotal. The subtotal is the sum amount of this fees. So all those fees made 8,667. Then once we write the subtotal of fees, then we write subtotal. I'm to say subtotal of fees. I'm to say I'm so tired, guys, so my mind is playing tricks with me. 8,667 is the subtotal of fees. Then we have to go to the expenses. Under the expenses, what is the subtotal? We have to add all those expenses, the total amount of all those expenses after including VAT. How much did we get? Then we take that amount and then we add it. So we're going to say 3,852 rand 5 cents plus 1,121 rand 25 cents, and then we're going to add that one of postal what. Then it's going to give us 5,031 rand. Then we are not done, guys. We still continue. Plus VAT, 15% VAT. So on this VAT, as I have explained, that if you buy from different stores, each store is going to charge you 15%, but if you buy from the same store, they're going to charge you 1%. I'm to say 115%. You understand? So we have, because of under the expenses, they went to hospital, they were charged tax. They went to the post office, they were charged tax. They went to the advocate, they were charged tax. So they were charged tax how much? 3 times, because of they have to do those things outside. So the fees, we don't have to go outside and hold on, because of those are the things that we do at the same place, law firm. So all those law firms fees are going to be added at the same place and same time, because of they are not in different places. So we are gonna take subtotal of fees and include VAT. We have included VAT on those expenses, so we have to include VAT on the fees. So we just have to take this 8,677, as you can see here, plus 15%, and then it's going to give us 9,967 rand 50 cents. I'm going to say 5 cents. It's not 50 because of that 0 is before 5 cents. Then we move to the last part. So we are almost done. So it states that plus expenses. So we have to include the expenses. So we just have to take the subtotal which we have added VAT on and then add it with the expenses. So as you can see, the subtotal amount under fees, mean to say the subtotal under fees, which is 9,967 rand 5 cent. Then we say plus 5,031 rand, as you can see. Then we edit, then it's going to give us our total. Then our total amount is going to be 14,998 rand 76 cent. Yeah, that's it. That's how we calculate it. So guys, I do believe that we are through with this assignment. So please guys, do subscribe, like my video, share it with anyone who needs it, and then guys, please don't forget to subscribe. If you have any question based on this, please do comment.